What's up, friends? How are you doing today? So this is going to be a part 2 to something I just talked about. What I won't miss about work. This is going to be what I will miss about work. Some of these might be similar, but it's just need to think about what I think I'm going to be thinking, speculating about what I'm going to be thinking after I'm done working. Hopefully I'm not holding the video too close. I think the last one was a little too close. But this is these are things that I think I'm going to miss about work. And by the way, this is Choice at Winding Down Chronicles of an Expat going into early retirement. I'm not retired, but I am getting there. If I'm not at the worst case scenario, I will continue working for another year. There's some benefits to that, so I don't want to completely miss it. It's fine. There's financial benefits in continuing working, but I could lose my job sooner than that, and I think it's looking more and more like that might be the case. So I could lose my job within the next 3 to 6 months, and so I'm chronicling this transition into retirement because, frankly, I don't think I'm going to get another job after this. I think the the work population is going to be saturated with humanitarian workers, with all of the funding cuts overseas happening, not just with the U.S., but I think with other governments. I think humanitarian funding is going to become smaller, and there are thousands and thousands of humanitarian workers losing their jobs, and I could be one of them. Now I have put my head on the chopping block for that. So I am, I think some of the other people in my office were surprised that I did that, or at least the other leadership. Of my team, I sacrificed myself as the budget cut, and I gave reasons why. And I think there are good reasons, and the only reason I didn't say was I'm ready to go. And I don't care how much longer it lasts. I could go next month. I don't think they'd let me go that soon because it is a critical position, but anyway, it's coming and I'm getting ready for it. So part of my getting ready for that is thinking about these things. What am I going to miss about work? Again, this is just speculation and my experience. So the first thing I think I will miss is being part of something huge. It was one of the reasons why I got into humanitarian work in the first place. There's the sun. And it was because I wanted to help people. I seriously wanted to help, and that's why I went overseas in the first place in Peace Corps. I wanted to do something that helped people and help people in need. Maybe there's some ego. I don't know. Maybe there's some ego in that. There probably is. You want to get personal. You want to feel accomplished, and it wasn't necessarily that. It was just like I wanted to be part of something. And over the years, my job has always evolved. It was always the next organization or next situation was always bigger than the last one. I went from in Haiti working for Habitat for Humanity for 3 years, helping people build houses, or getting people affordable houses, and that was really where I cut my teeth on community development and grassroots experience. And then it evolved, eventually, actually, I didn't go there for Habitat for Humanity. I worked for a hospital. I was an office manager, and I was in charge of all the facilitating of the drugs and the medicine, the procurement, and the communications for the organization. That was really before internet. And then, eventually I got into humanitarian relief in West Africa, literally saving lives, people dying from malnutrition and war, and so many difficult dangerous situations. And now, I was working with refugees in Daha and Bahai, Darfur. What am I thinking? Bahai, Darfur. I was in South Sudan. I was in Chad and Kenya on the border and Somalia border. And recently, just working with hundreds of thousands of people who benefit from what I do, and I'm gonna miss that. I think when I'm done working, I still will at least volunteer for something minimally or be involved in work back where I live. But this had huge impact. So number 2, collaboration and planning with teams. As much as I am an independent and I can work on my own, I do love working with good teams. I love the collaboration. I love the discussions. I love discussing the exciting context where we work. The drama of the stories, the evolving stories of the context and the people involved, and I get inside information on updates from information that most people in the world will never hear. Very few people will have, and it's very exciting. And I love when I'm part of a team that finds solutions. There are some difficult people and they're combative, but in the end we end up making decisions. And I love when it's just that collaborative sense of feeling, collaborative sense of coming up with a solution that helps people. So number 3, the responsibility. So over the years, I've gained a lot of responsibility. I am responsible for a lot of money. This project where I'm at now, this portfolio is over $25 million, and in Haiti, where I went from working for a project, managing portfolio of about $400,000, and over the years, multi-million-dollar projects, huge projects all over Africa, and then more recently, $25 million, and huge grants, huge responsibilities with governments, and that's exciting. And I'm the go-to person for the finances. Really, very few decisions can be done without me, and I like being part of that. Number 4, creativity. With my ideas and my thoughts, my opinion is asked when we make decisions or when we're discussing solutions. The decisions, we need to do things that are feasible and what we have money for. And I have to come up with creative ways. I need to understand multiple moving targets or multiple moving variables, different donors, different compliances, different rules and regulations, timelines. I mean, it is one big it's like one big moving target, and I need to understand the whole picture, which some people even in the organization don't get, even if they've been there for a long time. And it's because of my unique position and understanding of how everything fits with the money. You can't do anything without the money. I know the cash flow, and I know what's expected. I know what's coming in. I know I can do quick conversions in my head. So very, very few people in the organization could do that, and I would beg to say that none of them can do that. And then I also get creativity with Excel. I can develop spreadsheets, and I do, and I've done that. I've done many thousands of spreadsheets, templates over the years, and stuff that's still being used. Like, I developed some spreadsheets for our partners to report on back 7 years ago, and they're still using them because they're still good. They've evolved, but I set up the template, and I tweak it here and there according to the situation. So number 5, being privy to confidential information. I know one of the worst things about being in an organization sometimes is when you're left out of the conversation. No leadership is tight-lipped about something, and in most cases, I need to be included. It might be for personnel reasons or something that I'm not included, but it's very rare. So I know what's going on at almost at every level in the organization. And that includes people coming to me, employees coming to me, trusting me with personal issues. Sometimes I don't want to know. Sometimes it's too personal and it's not relevant to the job, but I kind of know what's going on in their head, and it's just helpful to know. Number 6, I like the technical side of the work. I do prefer, I've self-taught Excel, and I'm fairly advanced in Excel. I'm self-taught in PBI, Power Business Intelligence, on Excel. I've taken courses. I pay for a subscription to advanced courses in software, and right now I'm doing data analysis. So I love that side of it. I love the creativity side around the technical side of analyzing data and coming up with numbers, and then being able to share that information. And number 7, I love the income that I don't get paid. I don't think I get paid for what I do fair-wise. I do work for an NGO, and I never chase the dollar. I've never asked how much a job cost or paid. I always just took it, and in most cases, it always ended up being, what I needed and more than enough. And I think in this case, it's not. I don't think I'm being compensated fairly, but it's enough to pay the bills, and I'm grateful for that. I do thank God for that. I am able to afford living here in Bangkok with my wife, and also taking care of our home in Laos, which doesn't cost that much, but still it does, and we eat well, so which is the most important thing for us, at least until we go. It's the most important thing for us. So I love that the income is enough that we can afford to do what we're doing, and have enough to be comfortable and to live in a place like this, So I thank God for that. So those are my 7 things of what I think I will miss when I retire. So tell me about yourself. What do you think you will miss about work, if anything? And this is down in the comments below. Please subscribe and like this channel, or like this video if you did. And until the next one, take it slow.